What will happen in 2023 when the economy crashes again? It's no secret that the world economy is in a lot of trouble. In the past few years, we've seen a number of financial crises happen, and it seems like the economy is crashing again every single year. This time, it's not just small businesses that are affected, the entire world economy is in trouble. In this video, we're going to talk about what will happen in 2023 when the economy crashes again. We're going to talk about the effects of the economy crashing, how it will affect the world, and how you can prepare for it. We hope that by watching this video, you'll be able to prepare for the economy crashing and protect yourself and your loved ones from the effects. 1. The current state of the economy. The economy is in a precarious state and it's only going to get worse. Unemployment is at an all-time high and many people are struggling to make ends meet. This is going to lead to a lot of people becoming bankrupt, and the government is going to have to step in to help. The government is going to have to step in to help a lot of people, and this is going to cause a lot of problems. For one, it's going to increase the amount of government debt. This is going to make it harder for the government to spend money on other things, like infrastructure or welfare programs. It's also going to increase the amount of government debt. This is going to make it harder for the government to spend money on other things, like infrastructure or welfare programs. Furthermore, it's going to increase the amount of people who are unemployed. This is going to cause a lot of social problems, like crime and homelessness. In short, the economy is in a precarious state and it's only going to get worse. Unless something changes, we're going to see a lot of problems in the future. 2. The cause of the current economic crisis. There have been many discussions about what the cause of the current economic crisis is. Most believe that it has to do with the housing market, subprime loans, and the greed of some people. But, what if I told you there was another possibility? What if I told you that the root cause of the current economic crisis was a technology-driven phenomenon that started in the 1990s? At the turn of the 21st century, a new kind of technology called the Internet was born. This technology allowed people to connect with each other and share information instantly. This technology also allowed people to start businesses and sell products online. Since the 1990s, the Internet has been a driving force in the economy. It has allowed people to start businesses, sell products, and make money. However, the Internet is not perfect. The Internet is a technology-driven phenomenon and it has some downsides. For example, the Internet is a global network, and it is not limited to one country. This means that if one country experiences a financial crisis, the effects will be felt throughout the entire global economy. Another downside of the Internet is that it is not stable. This means that the Internet can be hacked and people can be robbed of their personal information. So, what will happen in 2023 when the economy crashes again? Well, the same thing that always happens. The people who were greedy and took risks in the past will lose money, and the people who were smart and saved their money will be able to get ahead. 3. The effects of the current economic crisis. In the time it's taken you to read this, something else has happened that has a much greater effect on the world. The global economy has crashed again, and we're now in a second recession. This time, it's even worse than the first. What does this mean for you? It means that the conditions you're living in now are only going to get worse. Unemployment is going to be higher, poverty is going to be more widespread, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to lose their homes. The effects of the current economic crisis are going to be felt for many years to come. So if you're struggling, don't give up. There are still ways to get out of this situation and start rebuilding your life. 4. What will happen when the economy crashes again? The economy has been going through a lot of changes recently. From the 2008 recession to the current election, we've seen a lot of changes. But what will happen when the economy crashes again? When the economy crashes, people will lose their jobs, homes, and savings. This will cause a lot of people to become homeless, and will lead to a lot of social problems. The government will try to help people by creating programs to help them, but it will be very difficult for them to do. This is because the government can't create jobs, they can only help people who have jobs. People who are unemployed or who have lost their jobs will be very angry and will want to blame someone. They will be angry at the government, the banks, the rich, and anyone else they can think of. They will also be angry at themselves for not being able to find a job. The economy will crash again, and this will lead to a lot of social problems. 5. How can we prepare for the next economic crisis? It's no secret that the world economy is in a rough patch. In fact, it's been in a continuous decline for the past few years. With the current political climate, it's not going to get any better. And according to many economists, the next economic crisis is probably coming. So what can we do to prepare for it? First and foremost, you need to be aware of the current situation. This means keeping up with world news, reading financial magazines, and staying up to date on the latest economic news. The more you know, the better prepared you'll be when the time comes. Another thing you can do is start stockpiling your food and supplies. This may sound like a crazy idea, but the last time the economy crashed, it caused food shortages and riots. So it's something to seriously consider. Last but not least, make sure you have a solid financial safety net. This means having a savings account, investing in stocks and bonds, and being able to cover your expenses for at least 6 months in case of an economic crisis. 6. What can we do to prevent the next economic crisis? The current global economy is shaky at best. Many people are concerned about what will happen in 2023 when the economy crashes again. What can we do to prevent this from happening? One of the first things we can do is invest in our economy. This may seem like a no-brainer, but many people seem to think that the economy will always be good and that we'll never have another recession. This just isn't true. We need to be prepared for the next recession by having a solid financial foundation. This means having a good amount of savings, having a well-paying job, and being able to afford to fall back on our resources if necessary. We also need to be proactive in our economy. This means being aware of the current trends and being able to anticipate what may happen in the future. We can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. We need to be proactive and make decisions based on the best information available. 7. What can we do when the economy crashes again? Since the Great Depression, we've been warned about another economic crash. But what exactly does that mean for us? It means that unemployment will rise, poverty will increase, and people will lose their homes. It means that food prices will skyrocket, and that our energy bills will go up. It means that we'll have to ration supplies, and that our banks and businesses will fail. We can prepare for this by saving money, investing in our own businesses, and being prepared for anything. 8. What will happen to the world when the economy crashes again? When the economy crashes again, it will cause a lot of chaos. Many people will lose their jobs, homes, and savings. The global economy will slow down, and countries around the world will be affected. In the United States, for example, the recession of 2008 to 2009 was the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s. The economy has slowly recovered since then, but many people are still struggling. If the economy crashes again, it's likely that things will get even worse. The world economy is currently growing, but that may not be the case in the future. If the economy crashes again, it could cause a lot of people to lose their jobs, and the global economy could slow down even more. In the past, when the economy has crashed, there have been many riots and civil unrest. The world could become a lot more dangerous, and it's likely that many people will lose their lives. So what will happen when the economy crashes again? We don't know for sure, but it's likely that it will be a very big deal. 9. What are the consequences of the next economic crash? The next economic crash is something that many people are predicting, and it's not hard to see why. The world economy is a complex and interconnected system, and any major disturbance can have far-reaching consequences. In the event of a recession, businesses will suffer as consumers cut back on their spending. This will lead to layoffs, reduced profits, and even bankruptcy. Unemployment will increase, and many people will lose their homes. In some cases, entire communities will be plunged into poverty. The effects of the next economic crash will vary from country to country, and it's impossible to predict exactly what will happen. However, it's safe to say that it will be a very difficult time for many people. 10. What are the possible outcomes of the next economic crisis? When the economy crashes again in 2023, it's important to be prepared. The effects of the last recession were devastating, and many people lost their jobs, homes, and savings. It's important to be aware of the possible outcomes of the next recession and take steps to protect yourself. The most common outcome of a recession is that people lose their jobs. In the past, many people have been able to find new jobs after a recession, but this is not always the case. If you lose your job, you may not be able to afford your mortgage, car, or other bills. You may also have to declare bankruptcy. Another outcome of a recession is that people lose their homes. This can happen if you can't afford your mortgage or if you lose your job and your home is worth less than the amount you still owe on it. If you lose your home, you may have to move in with your parents or live in a homeless shelter. A recession also can lead to people losing their savings. This can happen if the stock market crashes or if people lose money in their investments. It's important to be prepared for the next recession and take steps to protect yourself. You can protect yourself by having enough money saved to cover your bills and by being prepared for a job loss. We hope that you did not think that the economy was recovering. We are here to tell you that the economy is crashing again, and it's only a matter of time until it does again. If you are not prepared for this, you will be in a lot of trouble. The following are 10 signs that the economy is crashing. If you see any of these signs, it's time to start preparing for the worst. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you are keeping yourself and your loved ones safe. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the bell icon.